Do you care which one? Josie, do you care which one?
No, not really.
All right, let's look at 18. All right, number 18 starts off with 8 over AB. And it's minus 6 over AB squared.
What?
I have the wrong one.
Hope so.
This is 6, 5, right?
6, 6.
6, 6. 5 equals.
Oh, yeah. I see why. Never mind.
That kid was probably cool.
All right, too many people talking. Come on. Hush. All right, so this one is 5a. That's better. 5a plus a minus 5 all over 2a plus 3. Now, I'm going to say that these are the easier ones because there's no doubt what the common denominator is. Remember, this is 5a over 1, so what's the common denominator?
2a plus 3.
So all I got to do for these ones like this is simply go to this one, the first one, and multiply it by top and bottom by 2a plus 3. So 2a plus 3, top and bottom, numerator, denominator. It's just a distributive property, so that would give me 10a squared
Okay, good. I thought I did that part wrong, but
plus 15a. The only one that is going to give you problems if that's a minus. If that's a minus, then it flips every sign here. Hey, it's not a minus. Don't spray people that. Okay. Since it's a plus, literally just write what's here. So plus an a and a minus b all over 2a plus 3. And then we combine like terms. I got an a squared, no other a squared. So it's just 10a. Once again, I've ran out of space here. So 10a squared. I got a 15a and a 1a that gives me
16.
Plus 16a minus b all over 2a plus 3. It turns out that top can't be factored. I mean, this is a b. If this was like a 6 or something, might have a chance here.
What about the?
Because it's a b, we don't have a chance to
I
factor.
was so close. Okay.
All right, that was number 18.
And 20 similar. I was just confused on if I actually
Wait a
can you do
minute.
20.
Wait a minute. Hold on. This was 18, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a 5, not a b.
Oh, okay. So I did get it right.
Minus 5.
Okay, I thought I just got it wrong.
So it's 10 squared.
I'm going to say, so we do have to investigate whether or not this can be factorable. So we do need to, I'm just going to tell you it's not factorable.
Yeah.
But I'm saying we would have to investigate whether it's factorable or not. So mean like a times c, negative 50, see if anything goes in, multiplied, negative 50 adds up to positive 16, answer's no. I mean, it's only 50 is only 10 and 5 or 25 and 2, and that's it, right? And that doesn't get me to 16.
I know I said that it didn't matter, but can we actually do 20? Because I didn't.
All right, last one. I will say today is a review day of this stuff right here.
Are we doing testimony?
You and 2 other people. The rest are, they have off. All right. So y squared minus 3y plus 1 all over, this is 20, y plus 2. So this one is exactly the same as the other one, except you see the minus sign. So we're going to flip signs. Still, what's the common denominator?
Y plus 2.
I mean, I can almost do this in your head, right? Because you know you're going to multiply top and bottom times y plus 2. So what's this times that?
Y to the third power.
See what I mean?
Okay.
So
I
you
was
get
just confused on
y
if
to
that's
the third plus 2y squared, opposite of everything here,
minus 3y.
and then minus 1, all over y plus 2.
Okay.
All right. And
Oh, I did
it
right.
doesn't
Okay.
even matter if that's factorable because we won't be able to cancel anything because there's a plus right here. So it could be factorable, right? But we don't have to worry about it because it will never cancel because the only time you get to cancel is when there's multiplication involved.
In fact, I'm a
If this
genius.
had been a y cubed times that, then I would probably go to the effort to try to factor it, but it can't be factored.
I did that myself. I did.
All right. Questions?
Right.
All right. So
Wait,
here's
right.
what's going. Yeah.
Why did you put a parenthesis around it?
So I'm saying you guys do not know how to factor a cubic, right? So turns out this could be factorable, but the book doesn't get into cubics yet. It actually can't be. It's not unfactored cubic as well too. But I put parentheses around saying that I could potentially factor this. Let's just say it's factorable. If it is factorable, you get y to the third plus something times something, something times something, all over y plus 2. And that's great. Maybe it is factorable. But because of this plus right here, I don't get to, like if there's a y plus 2 right here, I could not cancel those out. Why? Because of this plus. The only time you get to factor is when there's multiplication involved. So I put parentheses around saying, well, maybe it is factorable. I don't know. Let's see. 2 times -1 is -2. Are there two numbers that multiply -2 that add up to -3? And the answer is no, because -2 times 1 is -2, but that doesn't add up to -3, or 2 times -1. So it ends up being not factorable. But you do have to consider that. All right. Any other questions?
No.
All right. Aiden, I need you right here. Right? Front and center once you get your water, so that I can see that you're actually doing this work.
Can you stay over there so you like I have?
I would prefer if you move down one, though. Just for today. I do want this is your permanency. All right, so here's what. Just for today, so you're not bothering me.
We don't cannot remember permanency.
Yeah.
Right
So
here.
let's
No,
add
right
it.
there.
No,
Just for today.
no,
Right there.
That's it.
All right,
Hey,
And
move
I'm
up
not
front.
coming back in the dock. She's in the lunchroom. She's like, yes, she is. She's making a phone.
Wait, are we in the lunchroom today? But since there's a
Six.
Stop
causing disturbance.
all I asked was if we're eating lunch downstairs.
All right, so here's what we got going on. I'm going to give you 20 questions. Of the 20 questions, all the answers are already on the back. Move down one more.
I don't want to sit by your desk.
Sorry. I got to make sure that you're actually doing this.
I know how to do it, I think. Some of it.
All right. So the answers are already on the back. This isn't, me worried about whether or not you're getting the right answer. This is me worried about whether you even know what you're doing. Okay?
Get everything.
Technically, this is supposed to be brand new stuff, 6.7. 6.7 is really cool. I mean, it's really super cool. It's long division with polynomials. And the reason why I say it's cool is because it's so much easier than normal long division. I didn't learn polynomial long division in algebra. I learned it in Algebra 2. Can you get serious, please? Okay, move the black thing off the desk. Move the red thing off the desk. That's all you need. So polynomial long division is pretty darn cool. If you're a math person, you want to look it up, it's really cool. You will get it in Algebra 2. You'll get it in pre-calculus as well, too. I could teach polynomial long division in probably like 10 minutes. It's that easy. And it is long division, by the way. There's just not much, there's literally no guess and check. It just works out every single time. I'm choosing not to teach that because I know that this is the stuff that kicks everyone's butt every single year. It doesn't matter whether you're honors, you're regular, adding, subtracting, polynomials that are fractions, just a butt kicker, okay? So I'm going to work through every one of the odds until the bell rings, right? If the bell doesn't ring and we're still working, well, then I'll stop right there. If I finish early, I finish early. Your homework is to really do the even ones. So for those of you that have a solid grasp, like no doubt in your mind, I know what I'm doing. Why are we doing this again? Then do the even ones. That's your homework. For the rest of us, you're going to be doing the problem with me, one at a time. We'll talk through it as slowly as we need to make sure that we all got it going on with adding, subtracting. Unfortunately for you, this stuff that we're doing, this is what Algebra 2, geometry not so much, but Algebra 2, pre-calculus, statistics, all that stuff we do, fractional polynomials all the time. It's like right now in last year in pre-algebra, like we did, hey, add, subtract, multiply, divide fractions all the time. We didn't think about it, we just did it. So we got to get to where we're, I don't know, at least as confident with these as we were with adding 1/2 and 1/3. Okay, big enough for you? You can see? Okay. Step number 1. By the way, I'm not doing any review, at least today, on multiplying and dividing. That's the easy stuff. The hard stuff is adding, subtracting. First off, can you see that you're adding, subtracting?
Yes.
Okay, that's your first step. Because on the test, guess what it's going to be?
Adding, subtracting.
And so step number 1 is this symbol right here, this minus sign, could be a minus, it could be a plus, could be multiplication, could be division. Okay? Hopefully it's multiplication and division because those are the easy ones. So the adding, subtracting is the hard one. All right. Once you've identified, I guess we'll call that step number 1. What are we going to do? Adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. Step number 2 is, okay, once you just decided that you're doing adding, subtracting, figure out if we have common denominators. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Life is good. Because when you have common denominators, the rule is you put an equal sign, you put a long fraction bar, and then what do you write? I write the common denominator. What's the common denominator? And then you simply do what it says. Haley, what's this tell me to do? So what's the thing we got to be careful with subtraction? I got to write the opposite of everything in that second fraction. So I guess first thing I should just basically write the first thing, right? So write x plus 4y. Now some of you are like, I don't want to do that. I just want to do the whole thing in my head. Okay, go on with your bad self. You got to be careful. Be careful. But you can certainly do that. So there's plenty of kids in here that can do that. Keep all this subtract in their head and not write what I'm writing. Like I'm writing like an intermediary step. She said to write the opposite. So this is, and this is. So he said negative x, Nathan said, and plus y. That's what he said. So far, so good. This is the easy one, right? Common denominators. All right, Aiden, you're up. What can I group together?
X
And
plus
he said, let's group together. Let's group the x and
y.
Never.
No, why not?
You can't group
Oh,
unlike
the
variables.
X and the plus addition.
Okay, I don't know how simpler to tell you this. You can put apples with apples, oranges with oranges.
Okay.
So if I circled x, I want anything that looks like an
Okay,
x.
the x on the negative x on the plus side.
X and a negative x. What's x minus x?
X minus x is x.
Okay, so apple minus apple is apple.
Okay, apple minus apple is x.
Okay.
I don't know.
I got 1 and I got 1. Right?
And
1
then
minus
take one
1.
away, then there's none.
There's none. Okay. Okay, we're done with the x's. If that helps, like circling things, do that. Right? If it doesn't, then, well, then you better be able to do it in your head. All right, Chris, what else can we group together?
The y's.
So I'm grouping 4y and y. That gives me
4y.
4y and y.
Just give me 4y.
Okay. Both of you, Aiden and Chris, when you think about adding variables, 4y literally means you have
4y.
and you're adding them. What's y mean?
Y.
How many?
5.
No, y. How many?
1. And then plus 4. And it's 5. Bingo.
So that's what you got to keep in your head and your mind. 4y plus y is,
5, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5.
can anything be factored or reduced?
No.
There's your answer. That's number 1. Yes.
I think the answer to 8 is wrong.
Okay.
Shouldn't it be minus
You keep
5?
checking. I can't do it right now, but when I get to number 7, then I'll get to it.
8.
All right. You got to tell me, easy, medium, hard. If I show this to a pre-algebra student, they will pee their pants.
No, I wouldn't.
They do not know what to do. You guys, algebra 1, now will know what to do. It looks complicated. Ain't that bad. All right, agreed. It is this one. This one is so simple. All right, number 2 is like number 1. Number 3. All right, Tristan, step number 1. What are we doing? Add, subtract, multiply, and dividing. Why am I asking that question? Because on the test, guess what's going to be on the test? Add, subtract, multiply, and divide. you're going to just, I thought it meant to add, and it's going to be multiplication, right? So make sure you identify what am I, if the instructions won't say, hey, add these. It'll say simplify the fractions or simplify the expression. Okay, we're adding. Step number 2, if you're adding or subtracting, you ask yourself, do I have? Do I have? Okay, do you have common denominators?
Yes.
So write the common denominator, 4x cubed.
And then you just, can I finish 91 steps?
Well, you had your first one, so write the answer,
Right,
absolutely.
right.
Okay. Okay, Tristan, are we adding or subtracting? If we were subtracting, what would happen to all these signs? Since we're adding, what happens to the signs? Keep them. So I'm just going to write everything that's up there. That means this, x minus 3y plus x minus 6y. I didn't change any signs. I just wrote what was there. Now we're going to go to Aiden's question. What can we group together, Aiden?
The x's, which
Okay.
that's 2x.
Okay. Now you're cooking with gas. That's an army
And
thing.
then I can finish.
So in the army, when you're trying to cook something, right? You're out in the woods, then obviously you use.
Fire.
And what do you use for the fire? You use wood, right? Because you're in the forest. You take your hatchet, you chop down a tree, you got wood. But that takes a long time, right? So when you do something really with gusto and efficiency in the army, you say you're not cooking with wood. You say you're cooking with
Propane.
you're cooking with gas, right? Because what's more efficient, quicker. All right. So there's our common denominator, 4x cubed. Aiden said we can group the x's. He said x plus x is.
X.
2x.
Hey, I'm going to go back to what we just said, those two. I said literally x plus x just means apple plus apple. That gives me 2 apples. In this case, 2 x's.
It's the same thing with 3 and 6.
Okay. What's the other thing that we need to group together here? It's not a 3y. Look at it.
Negative 3y.
So negative 3y and a group them together. Same or different signs, add or subtract, blah, blah, blah. That's speech. Same or different signs.
Same.
Does that mean add or subtract? So add the numbers. Except we're adding,
Negatives.
so it's
Minus.
We know. Yes, because negative. Hold on.
Wait, no.
Yes. I said that.
all right.
I said that.
Well, one of the two things you said.
I said positive, but it was negative.
All right. Last step, you got to look at top and bottom. Can you factor anything out of the top? Because if this was a negative 8y, it's not. If it was a negative 8y, what could you factor out of it? What would go into both? A 2. And then we would cancel with that 4 here. But in this case, since it's a 9, negative 9, there's nothing. That's it. That's the answer right there. Be ready to factor as your last step, right? Most of these will be able to be factored, not this one. Okay. Questions on number 3? I said we're doing 10 of these. We've already done 2. Okay. First one, no common denominators.
Okay.
First one, no common denominators.
What do we do?
Well, that's what we're going to talk about. All right. Nathan, are we add, subtract, multiply, divide? We are subtracting. I'm just saying, I hate this test. Well, 1, this is the hardest thing we do this year. And then 2, I will put a problem like this and somebody will multiply. I didn't see the minus sign. I thought it was multiplicate because they're kind of, for the test, they're kind of mixed together, right? Whether we're adding, subtract, multiply, and divide. You just got to be careful. Hey, we are subtracting. Step number 2 for adding, subtracting, do we have common denominators? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, common denominators. Scratch work to the bottom. I want everything.
Why?
Okay? So what, give me everything that you see there.
2x.
I gotta see a 2 and I see a, oh, that's everything. If there had been a y here, what would be the common denominator?
2x.
I want everything.
2x y.
If this had been an x and an x squared, what's the common denominator?
2x.
Questions on how to find common denominator?
Me.
I want everything to the highest power.
Oh, okay. So just take what's
I'm just
bigger.
going through all some different possibilities.
So just take what's bigger.
Take which is bigger, right? But I do want everything that's different, right? Okay, we just found out the common denominator here was
2x.
2x. So I'm going to write two of those. 1, 2, because I'm going to change both of them. Well, one of them not. The first one says 5 over 2x. Do I need to make any changes?
No.
So in fact, I didn't need to do that, right? So I can write equals 5 over 2x because it's already common denominator. The second one, though, starts off at 5x over 2. What's missing?
2.
What's missing?
X, sorry.
An x. That's what you're going to multiply top and bottom by. What you're missing. I'm missing an x and an x. What's 5x times x?
Yeah.
What's 5x times x?
5x squared. Sorry.
So that turns into 5x squared. There's my second. Now, you can make a simple mistake by forgetting that you're subtracting. So minus 5x squared over 2x. Now it's just like questions 1 and 3. Hey, look, we got common denominators. So all we do is we write the common denominator, 2x, and do exactly what it says. We got one thing on the top, so, well, obviously it flips the sign, but there's not much here to flip. So we get 5 minus 5x squared, and we got an issue here. Look at the top. Can be factored?
Yes.
What goes into both?
5.
So we factor out of 5, and we'll get 5 times 1 minus x squared over 2x. Yes?
Yeah. Yes.
She needs them.
What part? Make sure you stop me before, don't let me get that far. Where? This part here? Well, do we agree that 2x is the common denominator? So I write 2x for both of them. Now, granted, this one, if you're thinking ahead, you don't need to do it for both, because one of them already is 2x. Let's say it wasn't. You would have to do it to both. I write the first fraction, and I say, what? I got to turn that into that, well, it already is, so I don't do anything there. But let's say it was a 2, I'd multiply top and bottom by x. So let's say it was an x, I have to multiply top and bottom by 2. But this one already is a 2x, there's nothing to do there. It's the second one. So it's a 5x over 2. What's missing? So that's why I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by x. 5x times x times x is x squared. So I get 5x squared, which is where that came from. Okay. All right, that was number 5. 5 more left. All right, this is one straight from last night's or over the weekend's homework. Straight from over the weekend's homework. Order. What's common denominator?
4x squared.
Okay, 4x cubed, right? So this one is already 4x cubed, so I just got to change this one. That would be 2y over 1, and we need to change it to 4x cubed. So what's missing? What's literally missing?
4.
A 4 and an x3.
4 and x to the third power. Everything's missing. I need everything, so I need to multiply the whole thing times 4x cubed by everything. Well,
So that would be 8x.
you got the y.
Oh, it's a y?
Well, if
That
I
looked
had
like a
better
minus,
handwriting, it'd be a
sorry.
y. So it would be 8x cubed y.
Yeah.
So the
That's nice.
first fraction turns into 8x cubed y all over 4x cubed. Everybody see that?
Yes, I do.
Plus 6 over 4x cubed. This one will be able to cancel something.
Cancel. So we cancel out that.
Hold on. Let's write an equal sign. 4x cubed.
When we cancel out the 4x cubed.
Not yet.
No.
4x cubed. That's supposed to be cubed. Y plus 6. What goes in the top? So 2 times.
Wait. Okay, that's where I'm stuck.
Well, what times 2 is 8?
It is
Right.
4.
4x cubed y plus what times 2 is 6?
3, sorry.
All over 4x cubed. Now what cancels?
4x cubed.
No, they don't cancel. Not the x cubed. What cancels or reduces? He's saying it more appropriately. Got a 2 and a 4.
I said it. I said
No,
two.
you didn't.
I said
You
two.
said
Keep
you
tapping
said x
forward.
cubed is what I heard. So the 2 and the 4 are going to turn into a 1 and a dose. So neatly written, it would be 4x cubed y plus 3 over.
2x cubed.
By the way, somebody needs to be checking my work on all these. Am I getting all right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We okay? All right. These are the, still I would say this is more, I agree, you might not, I understand you might not agree with me. I'm saying these are still more in the easier category. The harder ones are coming, but we're still kind of, okay, it's not that much to do. I mean, I'm not going to fill up the entire page with numbers.
Mr. Chartier,
Yeah.
can you check the answer for 8 right now?
What number did I just do?
7.
Okay, give me 8.
8 is
Oh wait, I just need to click the button. I need a monkey. Somebody give me a monkey for Christmas. And then I can say monkey, click the button.
I don't think that's legal
What, to own a monkey?
No, it's.
in a classroom.
I mean,
How's the class then?
I really said
You should just get one of those.
Monkey, click the button. All right, what's the common denominator?
6xy.
Okay, now, once you do a bunch of these, you know how this one is going because this is a whole number. We're basically going to be multiplying this one, top and bottom.
that's a.
I know, she just doesn't understand why. All right, so we're going to
You know,
multiply
the answer
5
is
over
wrong.
1 times 6xy cubed over 6xy cubed. Okay, so that's going to give me what? 30 xy,
cubed.
30.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to get 30 xy cubed minus 5y all over 6xy cubed.
Yeah, the answer is wrong. It says -5, not minus 5y.
Oh.
The answer.
What?
Well, we're not done yet. What can we factor out of the top and the bottom? We can factor out a y and a 5. So I can factor out a 5y from the top. So that, okay, I'm sorry for making the monkey joke. All right. So 6xy squared. Hey, this times this is that.
Wait, it is?
Now I'm
Y times y squared is y cubed. 5 times 6 is 30. And then we gotta have it.
I am lost completely. What just happened?
I'm looking at the top and I'm asking, well, what goes into both terms? A 5 and a y. So divide this by 5y. Well, I'm going to lose 1y here, and the 30 turns into a 6.
Okay. I get the y.
This times this is that.
Yes. Okay.
Minus 1.
Your
That's
answer's
still
still wrong.
not
then.
the answer.
Oh, we're not done yet.
Jeez.
Actually, I am. No, I'm not done yet. Over 6. I thought something was going to cancel there with the 6's, but that didn't happen. 6xy cubed. Notice I got a y and a y cubed. I can get rid of one of them. So I'm just saying the final answer is 5 times 6xy squared minus 1 all over
Josie still is
6
having malfunction.
The
x.
answer's still
Wait, is it
wrong.
squared.
Look at the answer. Mr.
You're gonna make
Chartier.
him yell at us.
Look at
Don't
the
do it,
answer.
Josie.
That's the answer for 8.
Just get better. Well, they left off the 5y.
That's what I've been saying the entire time. You yelled at me.
Actually, you know what they did?
What did they do?
Distribute the 5 to the inside, and guess what you get? That. Okay, so they do have a form of the right answer.
Really, really sad.
I still don't understand what happened, but
What's 5 times negative 1?
-5.
Look at the answer.
No, I mean I don't understand the.
Okay, so you're stuck on this part right here.
Yes.
What goes into 30 and 5?
5.
That's where I got this 5. What goes into y cubed and y?
5.
That's where I got this y. So it's kind of the opposite of common denominator. You're picking what's the smallest that's shared between. 5 times 6 is 30. Y times y squared is y cubed, and we gotta have an x because there's an x there. And then 5y times -1 is -5y. All right. We're definitely on the more challenging ones. All right. We have not done 9 yet, right? All right. Number 9. By the way, have I gotten the ones that say write the excluded values yet? No, not yet.
Close there.
That's a review. I'm confused why I was doing this last night for you guys. All right, here we go. Tristan, common denominator, not common denominator.
Come to them there.
Life is good.
No, it's not.
If you have common denominator, you simply do what it says. What's it say do?
Ah,
Let's add.
a squared plus.
Not a squared.
2A.
Okay, number one thing in Algebra 1, a times a is not the same as a plus a.
Oh.
A plus a is,
A, 2A.
and a times a is,
A squared.
got to keep that in your head. All right. Okay, so what's a plus a?
2A.
And what's 5 minus 2?
3.
And there's your answer.
I'm a little
That was
slow.
easy as, boy, that was way too easy. That was way too easy.
There was no comparison.
Well, can't you quit? Wait,
Do you agree we have common denominators? So then I just add these two things. A plus a is, and 5 minus 2 is, yes.
but then can't you do 3 into 9?
So I could factor the bottom. Would it get me anywhere?
No, but like 9 and 3. Don't you do 3 go 1?
You can. I'm not saying you can. It just doesn't get. So I could factor not the top.
You could reduce it. And
Well, let's see. If I factor, quiet please. If I factor the bottom, I would get 3 times a plus 3. If that said a plus 3, it doesn't. It says 2a plus 3. If that said a plus 3, ooh, cancel.
I meant that's not what I meant. So
What?
I
What'd you
meant
mean?
like you keep the 2a and the 3a and you do 3 goes into
If you
9.
factor something out, it's going to come out of everything.
But I'm reducing it, not factoring.
No, when you reduce, remember, you don't just, if you had 15 or 12 over 15, you're like, oh, I can reduce that by 3. You said, so the answer is 4 over 15. What did I do wrong?
You didn't take it out of 15.
I didn't take it out the bottom. So if you decide, and I see why you're saying this, hey, there's a 3, there's a 3, there's a 3, good, but there's also got to be 3 here, and there isn't. So it's the same idea as right here. You take it out of one thing, you got to take it out of everything. All right, that was number 9. Number 9. All right, that's 10. Let's look at 11. Actually, let's do something that has not common denominators.
13.
There we go. First one without common denominators, and there's a lot going on the bottom.
Oh,
Okay,
that's not fair.
here we go. This one actually is easy because the numbers are nice and friendly. Are we adding or subtracting here?
Adding.
Where do you see adding?
There's really not.
There's not even a plus symbol up there. I mean, if there was a plus right here, I'd say, okay, maybe I see where he's getting that. But there's not even a plus symbol up there. All right.
No.
So when we don't have common denominators, we have to get common denominators. Remember, when the denominator is, there's no adding or subtracting, like a 3a squared and a 4x, you pick everything. I want the 3, I want the 4, I want the a squared, I want the x. When you have adding or subtracting, I want everything to the highest power, right? So notice I got a k minus 3 and a k minus 2. I want everything. So I want as a common denominator, I want k minus 3, and I want a k minus 2. Next, k minus 2. I want it all, those parentheses. That's what we got to turn everything into. But it's not as bad as it looks. Why? Because let me write the first fraction next to it. I got a 3 over k minus 3. See what I did?
Yeah.
What's missing?
The k minus 2.
Does everyone see that? The only thing that's missing is a k minus 2. As soon as you identify this is the smiley face report. As soon as you identify what's missing, that's what you multiply top and bottom
Okay,
of.
so it just be 3k.
So what are we missing?
K minus 2.
That's what I got in parentheses. That's what I got to multiply the top and bottom by for the first fraction, K minus 2. Okay? That's easy. Distributive property, we get.
3K minus 6.
There's your first fraction, 3K minus 6. Stop me if you're lost. Second fraction, we still know it's going to be K minus 3 times K minus 2. The second fraction is a 6 over K minus 2.
Oh, I get it now.
What are we missing?
Like
A K minus 3.
Missing a K minus 3. So I'm going to multiply top and bottom by K minus 3. My pen's dying here. Distributive property real quick. Haley, distributive property. Just do the distributive property. Where my thumb, my finger is.
6K
times.
minus 18.
That's your second fraction. 6K minus 18. Okay, we got a problem though. What's that say?
Minus.
First fraction, second fraction. So what do you got to do with everything here? Got to flip the signs, write the opposite. So over here, first fraction turned into 3K minus 6,
Oh.
K minus 3, K minus 2. That's your common denominator. The second one, you said to flip every sign, so that turns into. But we're subtracting. So that's going to turn into. Flip the signs. What do you get?
You added.
Okay, I'm dumb.
I know, but we got to write the numbers. This is the second fraction, the numerator. We're subtracting, so I need the opposite.
Negative 6K plus 8.
There we go.
All right,
It's again.
we okay?
I'm talking about-
Yes, I
Chris, what are we grouping together?
The K's.
Okay, tell me what it says with just the K's.
K minus 3K.
Doesn't say K minus 3. Just the K's. We're grouping together the K's.
3K minus 6.
6K.
What?
Read it with just the K's.
Okay, I'm looking. 3K minus 6.
No, there's no.
They're 8. What do you
I
mean?
said group the K's. This was the thing I did before was when you get to that final step, you got to group together things. I got K. There's no K here. I can't do it. It's like saying 6 apples and a monkey.
Oh, 3K.
We'll add those together. 6 apples and a monkey? What the heck? That's just
Okay. So
you can group together your monkeys with your monkeys.
okay, so 3K and a negative 6.
There you go. So what's the answer? I like the circling thing because it makes you visually look at what you're doing. I'm doing 3K minus 6K. Please stop. Same or different signs?
They're different.
Add or subtract? Subtract.
Different.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm tired.
Don't talk. Subtract.
So, Mom, okay. You
Don't talk. Subtract.
Minus.
Chris. This is where you stop. You have a coping mechanism. When the teacher asks you a difficult question, you don't know what to do. You talk to try to stop them asking the difficult question. We're pun intended, we're stopping that right now, and let's just do what it says. You said subtract, so subtract. If you don't get that, you're like, what do you mean subtract? Then you say, what do you mean subtract? Don't say, yeah, oh, I'm losing. Tell me where your confusion, then I can help you.
Okay. So
we said add or subtract, or same or different signs. You said different. I said add or subtract. You said subtract, and then I said a whole bunch of things and yelled at you, subtract.
yes.
So subtract.
Okay.
Don't confuse him. Subtract.
What about I was subtracting 3K?
There you go. That's your best question this year. What do you mean subtract? What numbers am I subtracting?
Am I subtracting 3K and negative 6K?
Yes.
Okay. It's 3K.
More positives, more negatives.
The same amount.
I see a 3 and I see a negative 6. Which one do you have more of?
Negative 6.
So therefore the answer isn't 3K, it's
Negative.
I'm just going to say, if you concentrate, if you work this through, right, you can do this. But you got to stay in the moment. Don't get distracted. We did all that work. You told me negative 3k. That's good. What else do we group together, Chris?
I don't see any.
What isn't circled?
Oh, so -6 and +18.
Same or different signs?
Different sign.
Add or subtract?
No, subtract.
When the
sign.
signs are the same, we add. When
Yeah.
the signs are different, we subtract.
So we subtract.
Subtract. What two numbers am I asking you to subtract?
-6 and +18.
Perfect. So now, right, when you're stuck on a problem like that, now I'm going to cut you some slack, right? 18 minus 6 is, everybody else?
Yeah,
This one is 6
I know it.
18 minus 6 is,
12.
Well,
do we have more negatives or more positives?
Positive.
So therefore the answer is,
Negative.
they told me 18 minus 6 was 12. You just told me there's more positives than negatives, so the answer is,
Positive.
okay, stay in the moment. We said that 18 minus 6 was 12. I asked you more negatives or more positive. You said there's more positives. True. So what's the answer?
12.
Positive or negative?
Positive.
Why positive and not negative?
Because there's more positive.
You got this. I know you got this. You just got to stay with it and stop giving up so often. Plus 12. All right, all over k minus 3, k minus 2. Stay with me. Are we done? Are we done?
No.
No, get back. Yes.
I'm not going to
So there's nothing that goes in the top?
3, 4, 3.
3. Now, here's the trick. Right? We could factor out a 3, but what would happen? Or even a -3. You get, well, we have to see because, look, it might be cancelable with what's on the bottom. It would be a 4, not a 3 or 2. If this had been, and we factored out a -3, sorry, plus, there we go. It's not, trust me. But if we factored out a -3, we would get k, sorry, minus 3. And then it could cancel with this one. So I'm just going to point out, what was the original answer? It was plus 12. Is that right?
Yeah.
We just got to make sure that you think through the entire process. I would hate for you to get down to here and miss a point because you just didn't factor it. Carry it to the very end. Tristan, you're supposed to be writing some of this down.
I did it.
All right. We filled up the whole page, basically, or 3/4 of the page with numbers. The ones where you don't have common denominators, are you with me? The ones where you don't have common denominators are the ones that can kick your butt. All right, one more.
Maybe 15, right?
Look through 15 through 19, which is the hardest one?
16.
Which one? No, 15, no even ones. 15 through 19, so 15, 17, or 19, which is the hardest one?
17.
Okay, Aiden says 17, so let's do 17. I agree, this one's okay. All right, here we go. Josie. All right. Do we have common denominators, yes or no?
No.
So I'm going to look at the denominators and I want everything. What do we got up there?
3x plus 2.
And we have a
2.
and we got a 2. There's your common denominator. I'd say finding the common denominator, you think that this is it's not a difficult thing. It's just I want everything. All right, first fraction is 3/2. What's missing?
3x plus 2.
It's missing a 3x plus 2, so I'm going to multiply top and bottom by
3x plus 2. Which would be
second fraction is x plus 5, okay, over 3x plus 2. What are we missing? So I need to multiply top and bottom by. I can do both of those really quickly. By the way, this is the first one. So multiply, what do you get?
9x over
9x,
squared.
9x,
Hold on. Plus 2. I said it. 6.
now the second fraction, we're doing it backwards here.
2. Is that an S?
2x plus 10. And remember, it's addition, so I don't need to flip the signs.
Okay.
So plus 2x plus 10, and it's all over 2. I'm writing it backwards here. 3x plus 2. Yeah. Okay. All right. We're back to that same last step that Chris and Aiden, I think Aiden's actually got it now. Chris, what are we grouping together?
We're grouping together the x.
So do it.
9x
And
positive 2x.
gives me,
It gives, it gives 11.
okay. Okay, that one's done. That one's done. What else?
6 and 10.
Gives me
16.
positive and negative.
Positive.
All over. And why don't I need to worry about if the top can be factored? What goes into 11 and 16? Besides 1, right? Nothing. Which is why that one can't be factored. Okay? Questions? Rowan. Oh, by the way, Rowan and Aiden. Mrs. Shambor's coming in at lunchtime to see you. Both of you.
We're dead.
Yeah, we're all
Why aren't we in the lunchroom?
because of COVID.
Go 20.
All right. Any questions? I didn't think this one was, the previous one we did was harder than this
We
one.
helped each other, remember?
Oh, you probably did.
All right. Any questions? What's your homework tonight?
This, even.
All right. Hey, I understand this is not, I could pick on any of you out there. Aiden did, he started off, he's kicking butt, and all of a sudden, yeah, I'm done. Right? If you're done because you get everything and you're like, well, he told me it was evens and I'm not going to do the odds unless he tells me I have to, I'll buy that. Right? But I will say this, don't ever give up an opportunity to practice when you know that there's answers there. It's just a little bit of work. Right? So I want to see all the steps just like you have right here for all the rest of them. Obviously, the answers are there. Don't turn a thing with the answers. Do your work. I'm going to collect it right now. So Josie's coming around with the basket over there. You grab your homework. The people that aren't here, they're going to be enjoying their. I'm not going to give them homework. So today was just a practice day. And tonight's homework's practice work. Well, you guys, not without sitting through the class. So you guys got the extra bonus point. All right. Go outside and see if that's Miss Jambor standing. And tuck in your shirt.
Purposely tripping your classmate.
Maybe I'm a little.
All right.
It's not lunchtime yet.
Well, you got the bonus plan, Aiden. Tristan, tuck in your shirt.
Stop. Good job, Kaden. Good job, Kaden.
Wake up.
Okay, what words of encouragement am I going to be giving right now? So what's the speech I'm going to Right? As long as you know the procedure and you show you're doing the procedure, the silly math mistakes aren't going to be okay. So I tell you is, I don't know what I'm doing. You know what you're doing. I'm saying you should have more faith.
Oh.
It's just that you're gonna make one mathematician for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Let's do the.
I'll give each other's
Oh,
answers.
sure.
There's another one.
That's right. Dinosaur. I love dinosaurs.
First of all, we actually
Here we go.
It's so right. I said five. I think it helps to write it down. See what I'm saying? You're already kicking butt. 5y and a 3y? Does it, because you see this plus, the only time it's going to change is when there's a minus. If it's a plus, then we do whatever it says. Oh, by the way, it's a minus 5y and a plus 3y. Minus, positive or negative. So once again, right, you made 3 mistakes there. There it is. Do you want to know why? Because now look at the top and bottom. We can factor something out of the top. Not all of them. Some of them are.
I'm not gonna know anything.
I know, but I'm saying we just got to ask ourselves the last question. So what comes out of the top? Oh, you factor out, put an equals. And then what times 2 is? Yeah, look at you. Plus. Perfect. And then rewrite the bottom. Just rewrite it. Then we'll factor up 30. Now,
Let's go.
2 and 30 cancel each other, and we're left with 15. Yeah, but yeah, but don't do that. That's not, because we haven't gotten rid of the 2 yet. 30. But 30. Yeah, because the next step is when it turns into 15. Now it's like, right? It's like if the fraction was 2 over 30, right? You would write this first, and then you would say, okay, divide top and bottom by 2. That's what we're doing right here. So now divide top and bottom by 2, and that's when this 2 goes away, and that 30 turns into 15. So final answer equals. Over. Right. So this one. The only difference between this one and this one is subtraction. So write the common denominator. And write this one. Just go ahead and write it. Or unless you want to do all the math in your head. I would you did the math in your head here. I just say, think here. What's the big deal? Just write it one time. So you write the first one. Minus 5y. And when you write the second one, what are we going to do with every sign? Right. So, well, the x turns into a, if we flip it, x, and that turns into, okay. And this is why I like writing this. So now we can, okay, equals. Denominator. Now we're grouped together. I'm grouped together 5x and the minus x.
We work together. Like, I got it. My answers from the top 3 numbers, the top 5 on mine.
Minus 5y and a positive. More negative, more positive. All right. Can anything factor out the top?
She's like, yeah, that's what she's yelling at me for. She was like, she was going to talk to me and get attention, not to.
Look at you go. You just cancel. It's going to be literally the same thing as this one.
Yeah. Even though you're not easy, you sign up.
Over. Flip it.
How about my running guys? I'm getting an attention.
So you made 2 mistakes on that one, but
Why?
this is the only issue. So you're going to make mistakes.
Oi! What are you doing?
What a small portion.
Wow.
What a small portion.
What is it?
You just sitting on the It's the smallest portion you want to make.
Mac and cheese.
What is this?
No.
Why couldn't you be nice?
Apparently, it's supposed to be mac and cheese, but it's also small cup.
I'm just saying, but is it tuna lunch? It looks like there's some great count on it.
What is that?
It's mac and cheese.
I got small portion size. I got small one.
Hi,
Hey, how are you?
nice you're here today.
All right, you're good.